On July 20, 2012, a man in Batman costume attacked the premiere of The Dark Knight Rises in Denver, USA. The attack killed 12 persons and injured 70. The attacker, James Holmes, was sentenced to 12 consecutive life sentences plus 3,380 years without parole after he was arrested and entered a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity. Other juries spared him from death penalty by one note. He deserved it. However, thousands of years of imprisonment is clearly beyond human lifespan. Does it really make sense? And put his next life into jail. If so, what would the judge think? This time, is there any difference between it and life imprisonment? Life imprisonment without parole. How do judges weigh the sentence? Conviction sentencing offenders for multiple crimes is professionally called concurrent punishment for several crimes in law. It has three basic principles: cumulative principle, absorption principle, and the limitative aggravation principle. Let's start with the cumulative principle. It means that several crimes are convicted and sentenced separately, and then the result of which are added up and run concurrently. Sam means A, B, and C at the same time. According to cumulative principle, he'll be sentenced to 36 years. It's simple to operate, but has obvious drawbacks. Firstly, it's not applicable to life imprisonment and death penalty. Death penalty, for example, our technology doesn't allow us to execute a person twice. It's not an easy thing. Secondly, the cumulative fixed-term sentence is likely to result in a sentence that far exceeds a person's natural lifespan, which cannot be well enforced and renders a fixed-term sentence. But this is not absolute if we look at it from a cultural perspective. Procedural justice is a legal and cultural tradition and concept valued by Anglo-American law system countries, which stresses fairness of trial process and the justice of legal procedures. Justice must not only be done, but must manifestly and undoubtedly be seen to be done. That's a perfect illustration of procedural justice. Based on retribution, the cumulative principle verdict visualizes the amount of crime committed by the offender. It broadcasts to the public that what happens to each victim affects the sentence of the offender, and that the penalty for multiple offenses are greater than that for a single offense. That's why most Western countries prefer the cumulative principle. Now we have the absorption principle. It means the judge executes the punishment for the worst of several crimes committed by the offender, ignoring the lesser as they're absorbed by the heaviest punishment. Sam, whose list, means A, B, and C again, and under principle of absorption, he'll only be sentenced to serve the most severe one, 14 years. One of the facts of absorption principle is that the offender is prone to receive a lighter punishment, and if so, his guilt and punishment are not fit, therefore is not used the law. To some extent, it encourages crime, as one felony offsets all misdemeanors. For example, Sam killed a person in a car accident and fled, thinking that this was a worse crime, and he felt that other minor crimes would have been punished. So he robbed some on the way out, beat up some, and did a dine and dash at a luxury restaurant. If every crime counted as penalty, Sam wouldn't necessarily do later. So will the world be at peace if all crimes are heavily sentenced, while death penalty is also imposed for theft? This may lead to extreme consequences. No stealing or stealing and killing, and later has more possibility. Anyway, to steal is to die, to kill is to die, and why not both? Overly strict and overly lenient sentences are not beneficial to society. To avoid problems, limited aggravation principle steps in. It means the judge sentences the offender for each crime separately and then deliberates a penalty in between the most serious one and the sum of all, and it has an upper limit. Simply put, one more time, Sam demonstrates for us. Again, he has committed crimes A, B, and C. Under the limited aggravation principle, the lower limit of his sentence is 14 years, the sentence for C as the maximum, and the upper limit is 25 years, as the total sentence is greater than 35 years. So his final sentence will be in between 14 and 25 years. Although it's more reasonable than the other two, it still cannot be applied to all types of penalties. For example, there are 9 criminal penalties in China, including 5 principal penalties and 4 accessory punishments. Limitative aggravation principle doesn't apply to life imprisonment and death penalty, which are principal penalties. Still, we can't kill one person twice. China's criminal law applies a mixture of 3 principles. Based on limitative aggregation principle, the cumulative and absorption principle are adopted. The sentence is determined case by case. Like sentences that are limited in length and amount generally follow limitative aggregation principle. Once a death penalty or life imprisonment is involved, the absorption principle is generally adopted and only death penalty or life imprisonment is pronounced. If both principal penalty and accessory punishments are applied, the cumulative principle is applied and the execution is combined. It can refer to Rule number 69 of the Criminal Law of the People's Republic of China for details. Then does China have a sentence that makes criminals linked to die in prison? You may think of life imprisonment and life imprisonment without parole. How are they different from each other? If the offender commits no more major infractions and does show remorse or do a deed of merit while in clink, then life sentence can be reduced to a fixed term no less than 13 years after 2 years of service. Therefore, a life sentence still have a chance to get out of prison life, while life imprisonment without parole loses all opportunities to be free. It was ended to Amendment 9 to Criminal Law in 2015, primarily to combat corruption. The article provides for serious corruption and bribery offenders. The People's Court have the right to commute the death sentence to life imprisonment without commutation or parole upon expiration of 2 years suspended death execution in accordance with circumstances of the crime. This just ends a condition of no commutation or parole to life imprisonment. Bai Enpei, the former secretary of Communist Party of Yunnan Province, is the first person to be sentenced to life imprisonment with a parole in China. He legally amassed over 240 million yuan and was 70 years old when he was in prison. In the end, we cover respect for the law and compliance with it. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoy it.